If you've ever felt there must be some exclusive information about creating money that only wealthy people have access to, there probably is, which is why, as the wealthy don't believe in fate or chance, the richest 1% of people today own more than 40% of the world's wealth. Although it's unlikely for an average person to become a millionaire, we may nonetheless handle our finances like one. The truth is that success typically depends on two principles: determination and wise money management. Welcome to Money Insight, your go-to channel for all things finance. We provide the latest insights, tips, and strategies to help you make informed decisions. From personal finance to investing, we've got you covered. Here are 15 secret rules of the rich. The first rule is that your money should work for you, not the other way around. The common belief is that if you want to become wealthy, you must work hard and obtain a job. That is true. But if working for money is your only source of income, your earning potential is constrained by the number of hours you put in each week. The wealthy understand that producing money doesn't always require working hard, so they seize every chance to create new passive income streams. Some forms of passive income, such as rental properties, royalties on artistic works, or investing. You don't need a lot of money to start investing, but it's crucial to maintain portfolio diversification to limit your risk exposure. Avoid attempting to time the market by either selling when you believe it is at its peak or buying when you believe it is at its lowest point. You are nearly certain to lose money using that strategy. It is advisable to invest in high-quality securities and hold them for a long time. It's critical to comprehend the expenses incurred by each of your sources of passive income. For instance, if you manage numerous rental properties, maintenance expenses could reduce your profit. Similar to how there might be fees for each trade or expense ratios on mutual funds when you invest, there might be costs related to your investment goods, such as fees for each trade or expense ratios on mutual funds. For you to make the most money, try to keep these low. Investors looking for an inexpensive approach to diversify their portfolios and generate high returns might consider index funds. Rule number 2. Don't spend money to impress others. Contrary to popular assumption, the majority of wealthy people don't invest time and resources into trying to win over others. Wealth and riches are not based on race. Most of them don't feel the need to demonstrate their wealth because they are aware of their worth. In actuality, many affluent people wouldn't have gotten wealthy if they had invested their hard-earned cash in items to keep up with their neighbors, like John, who recently purchased a brand new sports car and lives in a large house. This statement is shared by authors Thomas Stanley and William Danko in their best-selling book, The Millionaire Next Door: The Surprising Secrets of America's Wealthy, published in 1996. Living within one's means and rejecting extravagant lifestyles are two secrets of the richest people in the country, according to the author of the book. Spending money to appear wealthy before you are wealthy is a certain method to defeat your attempts to gain riches. So stop worrying about the Instagram millionaires and concentrate on what really matters: building wealth over the next few years. The third rule is to avoid going at it alone. Rich people may not always be the most knowledgeable about money or investing, but they do appreciate the importance of professional counsel. Wealthy people recognize that with an advisor's aid, their money may increase quicker than it would if they were managing it on their own. While some people would avoid the expense of employing a financial consultant to manage their money, to help you reach your financial objectives more quickly, a financial advisor might be able to recommend investments and tactics you hadn't thought of. So it's essential that you select a fee-only advisor. Fee-only advisors, in contrast to those who charge a fee for their services, do not receive commissions from the financial products they recommend to you, and so you won't need to be concerned about any possible conflicts of interest. Wealth doesn't usually appear suddenly, but you may steadily increase your net worth over time by managing your finances responsibly, looking for new and better sources of income, and seeking assistance when you need it. Rule number 4. Maintain abundant liquidity. The wealthy make sure that they have enough liquid assets or cash to meet their immediate demands. So that they don't have to disturb their life on an unexpected catastrophe, they keep an emergency fund. Rich people's ability to save money for emergencies is not exclusively a result of their wealth. They have cash in hand because they have the self-control to save. Everyone should work to accumulate an emergency fund with enough money to cover costs for 6 to 9 months. You don't have to save that much money all at once though. Simply keep putting effort toward that objective with each paycheck. In light of this, set up a monthly automated transfer from your checking account to your savings account for a certain sum. It should be a goal that you focus on each month, and that is neither too easy nor too difficult. Rule number 5. Own property even if you don't have much money. Historically, investment in real estate has provided the strongest long-term returns. Rockefeller is an example of this in the real world, and in more modern days, Grant Cardone. All around the nation, there are businesses and investment firms that can assist you in making long-term investments in residential and commercial real estate. Even though you won't entirely own the property, you have the chance to be a part owner. It's wonderful that you don't have to be a millionaire to benefit from this. Some businesses like DiversiFund require only a few $100 to get you going. Such businesses have made it possible for wealthy people to maintain ownership of real estate without having to dig deeper into their pockets. Do take into account such possibilities while getting started. Some businesses have typically experienced annual returns of 17% to 18% because they understand how to weather the ups and downs in the market. Rent payments and rising property values are two ways that you can profit as a partial owner. The 6th rule is to never pay fees. Fees have a tendency to spiral out of control and deplete your wealth. It's crucial to prevent paying unnecessary fees, whether they relate to late payments on credit cards, international transactions when using a debit card overseas, or overdraft charges when using a checking account. Even though it may seem stingy, the wealthy are aware of how annoying these fees may be. They try to avoid fees at all costs since they are aware that each one they spend results in less money in their pockets. The 7th rule is that time is your most valuable asset. Your time is without a doubt your most precious asset when it comes to investing. Selling time for money is a losing strategy, particularly as technology eliminates many positions that don't need for a high level of human expertise. For this idea, you must discard any instruction you may have received about laboring for a living in pain and long hours. If you seriously consider this option, you will discover that while hard work is demanding, the rewards are insufficient. Consider someone who spends all day digging up the ground at a mine to someone who works on Wall Street, where they only invest for a short period of time, yet get big profits. Also, from a different angle, if you decide to invest your money today, you will eventually develop your portfolio slowly. At the end of the year, a few hundred will have increased to over 1,000. Rule number 8. Invest in stocks and bonds. Those who are not affluent believe that being wealthy involves locating the quote-unquote hot stock, while successful individuals are aware that compounding is the secret to wealth accumulation. This indicates that you can accumulate wealth simply by observing the growth of your money over time. An excellent illustration is contributing to your employer-sponsored retirement plan and your individual retirement account, IRA. A target date retirement fund, which consists of long-term investments, index tied to a future retirement date, is the best choice in both scenarios. In contrast to actively managed funds, where the advisor tries to outperform the market, index funds are the holy grail. You can experiment with a little amount of money, such as $100 or $1,000 that you are willing to lose. The 9th rule is to persevere until you close the deal. Recognize your worth and uphold it. Don't undersell yourself. Make sure you receive the best because that is what you deserve. Because they are accustomed to it, most people don't mind taking the L, but the wealthy will constantly defend their position and demand payment. According to rule number 10, asset location is just as important as asset allocation. You have probably read about asset allocation if you've read anything about investing or saving for retirement. Instead of investing all of your money in one item, it implies having the correct mix of investments. The wealthy, however, are aware that asset location is just as crucial as asset allocation. To put it in another way, wealthy people don't keep all their assets in a single sort of account, such as a tax-deferred retirement savings account. Instead, they dispersed it. In order to lessen the impact of taxes during retirement, wealthy people also have investments in brokerage accounts. Rule number 11. Pay isn't the entire picture. The corporate ladder is only going to take you so far. You eventually reach your financial potential and reach a plateau. The wealthy understand that in order to increase your wealth, you must make your money work hard for you rather than the other way around. In fact, Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the best-selling book on personal finance, based his entire financial philosophy on this idea. The easiest method to do this is to generate revenue from passive rather than active income sources. Dividend-paying securities, rental properties, business revenues that you do not personally manage on a daily basis, and royalties on artistic creations or innovations are examples of investments that provide passive income. Rule number 12. Save, save, and save. If you already keep close tabs on your finances, whether they are in your 401k or bank account, you are already on the right route. The money you make in your 20s and 30s is some of the most important money you can save. Having a weekly money date is advised. The most modest and humble people are frequently those with net worths around $10 million who don't feel the need to keep up with the Joneses. To become a millionaire, you must be able to live within your means rather than pretend to be wealthy. You can earn $1 million, but if you spend $1.2 million, you won't be in any better financial shape than a person who earns $40,000 and spends $42,000. Another trait of those who are more likely to succeed in accumulating wealth is a willingness to educate oneself, even simply to a basic level. Even those who are wealthy pay attention to the small adjustments that can help them save money. Rule number 13. Recognize value above expense. Middle-class families frequently make compromises to save money, but they eventually discover the outcomes are subpar. Value shouldn't have to be compromised. The wealthy are aware of this. The wealthy prioritize value over price, yet they nevertheless exercise caution when making choices. They surround themselves with those who will help them increase their fortune, especially over several generations, and they are not hesitant to pay upfront for advice in order to receive these answers. These individuals may serve as their counselor, accountant, and attorney. Rule number 14. Don't spend other people's money. The adage, "it takes money to make money," may strike the average person as a stale cliche used to excuse extravagant expenditure. Yet for the wealthy, it's a guiding principle. Leveraging other people's wealth to raise your own is the key. As was previously said, exchanging time for money is a losing strategy, especially since technology eliminates numerous positions that don't require a high level of human expertise. But a tried and true method for accumulating wealth is to borrow money from banks or investors and employ people to work for you, not to mention the tax regulations which strongly support business. Relying on other people's money to do the difficult lifting dramatically boosts the return, whether you're raising money to launch a business or flipping real estate for profit. Naturally, it carries a higher risk than using your own money. Warren Buffett, a renowned investor, famously said, however, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. And lastly, rule number 15. Avoid using credit cards to make payments. Credit cards are a terrific method to increase your credit score, but if you want to become wealthy, you should never overspend. Using only the money you have on hand rather than putting purchases on a credit card and accruing interests in one approach to avoid being caught in a loop of high interest payments. If you are not able to pay off your credit card within the billing cycle, you should avoid using it at all costs. That is, if you really want to build wealth. Thank you for watching Money Insight. Hit the thumbs up button if you've learned something from this video, and check out the next video shown on the screen. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more content from our channel.